Hello everyone. Today we'll discuss about congruence of triangles of chapter 7. Here is the introduction part, that is you are now ready to learn a very important geometrical idea. Congruence. In particular, we will study a lot about congruence of triangles. To understand what congruence is, we turn to some activities. Here take two stems of same denomination, place one stamp over the other. What do you observe? One stamp covers the other completely and exactly. This means that the two stamps are of the same shape and same size. Here you remember that two stamps are of the same shape and same size also. Such objects are said to be congruent. The two stamps used by you are congruent to one another. Congruent objects are exact copies of one another. Can you say say if the following objects are congruent or not? Shaving blades of same company. Yes, it is congruent. Sheets of same letter pad congruent. Biscuits in the same packet is also congruent, and tiles made of some mold is also congruent to one another. The relation of two objects being congruent is called congruence. For the present, we will deal with plain figures only, although congruence in general idea is applicable to three-dimensional shapes also. We will try to learn a precise meaning of the congruence of plane figures already known. Here you see congruence of plane figures. If these plane figures completely superpose on this figure, then we can say that F1 and F2 are congruent to one another. And the symbol of congruent is this one. This is the symbol of congruence. The F1 is congruent to F2. Congruence among line segments. If AB, the length of AB and CD are same, then we can say that AB line is congruent to CD. And if the lengths are not equal, we can say that they are not congruent. If two line segments have the same length or equal length, they are congruent. Also, if two line segments are congruent, they have the same length. Congruence of angles. If the angle, this one, and this one, if the angles are same, then we can say that this angle, and this angle are congruent to one another. But this angle is not congruent to the others, right? That means if this angle superpose on this angle and this angle superpose exactly on this angle, we can say that figure 4, figure 2 and figure 1 is congruent angles of one another, right? If two angles have the same measure, they are congruent. Also, if two angles are congruent, their measures are same. Congruence of triangles, right? We saw that two line segments are congruent where one of them is just a copy of the other. Similarly, two angles are congruent if one of them is a copy of the other. We extend this idea to triangles also. Here you see, two triangles are congruent if they are copies of each other and when superposed, they cover each other exactly. In case of triangles, here you see corresponding vertices, that is A and P, A and B is the corresponding vertices. B and Q is the corresponding vertices, C and R are the corresponding vertices. Corresponding sides, AB and PQ are corresponding sides. BC and QR are corresponding sides. AC and PR are corresponding sides. Corresponding angles, angle A correspond to angle A and angle P are corresponding angles. Angle B and angle Q are corresponding angles. Angle C and angle R are corresponding angles. If you place triangle PQR on triangle ABC such that P falls on B, then should the other vertices also correspond suitably? It did not happen. Take trace copies of the triangles, try to find out. This shows while talking about congruence of triangles, not only the measure of angles and lengths of sides matter, but also matching of vertices also. In the above case, the correspondence is A corresponds to P, B corresponds to Q, C corresponds to R. We may write that ABC corresponds to triangle PQR. Here you see, there is one example. Here is triangle ABC and triangle PQR are congruent under the correspondence ABC corresponds to RQP. Write the parts of ABC that correspond to PQ. This PQ PQ corresponds to CB, right? And Q corresponds to B. Q corresponds to B, right? RP corresponds to RP. This one RP corresponds to AC, right? In this way, you can do. You have to the corresponding sides, corresponding angles, and corresponding vertices are equal to one another. Then you can say that the two triangles are congruent of one another, right? When two triangles say ABC and PQ are given, there are in all 6 possible matchings or correspondences. Two of them are ABC corresponds to PQR and ABC corresponds to QRP. Find the other 4 correspondences by using two cutouts of triangles. Will these correspondences lead to congruence? Yes. Now in the next video we will discuss about the congruence of triangles in the next video. Dear friends, if you like this video, please subscribe, like and share. Thank you everybody for watching this video.